All right, I have returned, and I guess we're doing some Googling. So, Blender, texture, paint, not working. If you're using texture paint feature to paint a material under the material tab, make sure there isn't a texture loader in the texture tab. I don't know. In the texture tab. That doesn't make sense. What's this one? In the active tool, texture slots area, correct texture is assigned. Remove the texture. Now I can paint my model somehow. Texture paint. Let me make sure you have the right texture selected. Active tool, texture slots area. Make sure you also have the right texture in the image editor. Active tool, texture slots. Active tool, texture slots. Texture. No, this is for the brush, right? This brush settings. Works, okay. View. Item. Tool. Texture. What does it mean? It does nothing. Single image. Oh, hey, look, texture slots. Missing textures or linked detected. Interesting. How rusty. Okay, still doesn't work. Right, nothing's happening over here either. We're doing this like we can paint, and it shows up. But we can't paint over here. This is what I'm trying to figure out how to do, right? Add paint slot, metal base color. Add. What does it mean? Still doesn't do anything, does it? Oh, it is doing something. See, over there? Stuff is happening. We just don't see it. Why? Because of our material. Let's go back to shading. Oh yeah, so we now have two textures. Let's get rid of this one. So how rusty is this image? Okay. We may want to like have separate textures for metallic and roughness and things. We'll come back to that. One thing at a time. So, why? Let's go to rendered. Let's dial up the light maybe. Modifier particle physics. Why is it that when I look at a light, hold on. Oh, right. When I was over here, I switched. Okay, so 3D viewport, please. Can I please see this light? Ah, there we go. Oh, it is the data. It is the data tab. All right, can we... First of all, can we see rendered here? I'm just trying to figure out how to fix the lighting here so that we can see our model better. Or did I want point? I don't know, it doesn't seem very bright. The amount of power seems excessive. I don't know, but it renders, so good enough. Back to texture paint. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, we can paint this thing. So we'll go to how did we... I'm confused. How did we, yeah, this is not the right place. Oh, right, object. No. Texture paint? Okay. Do we have to have a specific object selected to paint it? Was that the issue all along? Was that I was trying to paint... What does the dot here mean? Control to add to current mode. Or are those added already? What does it mean? I don't know. Let's try painting. Okay, so we can paint here. I'm just messing around now to get a feel for this, right? Do we have to be in... Okay, we can be here. We can be in this mode, and we can paint. Can we paint this? No. If I have this selected, we still can't paint that. If I add them to the selection, still can't. Okay. Interesting. Change the object in the... Okay. I don't understand, but that's okay. So we have to do one thing at a time to be in texture paint mode. Okay. And then we can just, we can rust it up. Not that, you know, this is not exactly what we want. And this is why, like, going back to, like, mixing, like, using this as a mask that then mixes between two other textures would be good. Because then instead of trying to paint a texture, which we could do, like, we could have a brush, I guess. And like paint the texture. We can instead take two existing textures and mix them, right? But before we move on to that, I want to like figure out what we're doing here. Like, why can't I paint this spot? Like where? Okay, that's a face. That's a face. I want to get rid of. What's going on here? Like, what is this? Yeah, just get object mode. Okay, that's part of that mesh. Why can't we? Why can't we paint that? Let's do hard. And we can paint around it. So where is this? The granularity of the zoom as we get in there is not super helpful. Okay, there we go. What have we done here?
You have reached the voicemail box of Kino.
Hold on 1 second. You know, when I say instrumental, apparently that's a challenge. Why? Okay, if we go back to UV editing, maybe we can see where this is. Why don't I see? Okay, so this is what I painted so far. Woo. UV. Why are we not seeing? Where this is, right? Because before we were clicking a face and we were seeing everything. Okay. What happened here? This isn't how it was before. Oh wow, okay. I understand, but still I don't. Okay, so this is in fact a tiny area right here. That doesn't seem right still. Maybe our auto unwrap was not doing great things for us, because okay, so if we so that is like a pixel. Okay, that's weird. Okay, if we box select, is there a way to just like, can you select everything in this? I guess we could just go to the screw. Okay, don't. Okay, leave edit mode. Go to the screw. Okay, edit mode, select. Okay, shrink that. Okay, now go over here. Leave edit mode. Leave edit mode. Select everything. Hit tab. There we go. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to just tweak things a bit. Yep. Okay, so far so good. What I want to do is I want to compactify all of this so I can scale it up, except for this part. Compactify is a word, right? Okay. So that made a big mess, but that's fine. We go back to texture paint. We will... It'd be cool if I could have like a library of colors. Instead of just the library of brushes, but whatever. Can we... What does secondary color do? What does right click here do? I see it changes brush settings. Okay, okay. That's fine. Grab that color. Bring up the size, and we're just gonna reset everything. And then we come over here. Interesting. Oh, that's fine. Okay. So if we look at the barrel now, it's really interesting, right? What's... What's okay, so that's that's a lot of faces. What did I do here? What is hold on, let's go back to UV editing. What are these? Okay, that's the side of the barrel. Okay, so I feel that none of this is proportional. Like what I was hoping to do is to have this UV map where the space taken up here will be proportional to the surface area of the object. But it's definitely not, right? Right, so like this is... I don't even know. What are these? Parts of the leg. Okay, and so are these, right? Yeah. So, and this is like part of the base. That seems fine. But then when we look at like this area, that's way too small. So I wonder if this is, maybe we just like unwrap again. No, that's definitely wrong. Can we unwrap a different way? Or is this just a, I need to fix things? Unwrap, did we try unwrap minimal stretch? Okay. Let me just try different options to figure out what they do. Cylinder projection. Project the UV vertices of the mesh over the curved wall of the cylinder. Well, that's a mess. Unwrap conformal. Ooh. Maybe. There was another thing here to pack islands. Let's see what that does. It's thinking. It did nothing. Okay, great. Super. UV. Average islands scale. Average the size of separate UV islands based on their area in 3D space. Ooh. Okay. This is good. And then arrange aligned islands. Okay. Maybe. So what are these? That's the barrel. And still not right. So what is this? Oh, that's the, okay. So the base, like, this is not at all proportional to the size of things. Okay. So minimize stretch. You reduce UV stretching by relaxing angles. No. Constraint to image bounds. Yeah, we should definitely do that. We should. I think some of this may be adding seams, like defining where the seams are. Should be a thing that we do. Maybe let's do that. So let me. I was hoping hiding the empty would hide the children of it, but no such luck. What if I... Nope. Okay. Barrel. Okay. Let's do Alt. Okay, 2. Alt click. Sure. That selects that edge from front to back. Okay, and then I think it's Control E. Mark seam. Should be a very unnoticeable seam because it's below, and will be kind of a top-down perspective. So we go over here. We go over here. All right. Okay. Yeah, I figure. Okay. It's really weird, right? So suddenly nothing wants to work. Like you're tabbing and okay. Anyway, so we. Okay. Apparently we can do that. So because what I was trying to do was trying to select these things and hit tab for it. Okay, now it worked. So maybe I had something selected. It doesn't matter. Okay, as long as I select the meshes, I can enter edit mode for all the things. Okay, now let's just try a few different unwrap options here and see what it does now that we've constrained it to the image bounds. So this is interesting. So these are obviously the legs. I say obviously, but I think obviously the legs. And this is part of the barrel. What is this supposed to... Okay, so this is part of the barrel as well. Okay, that makes sense. And that's like the inside of the barrel. Okay, and so what was this again? Oh, this is the straps. The straps. I mean, this might be better. Right? So if we take this and then we go to texture paint and we select the barrel, it's interesting. So I can see this here, change the object in the current mode. Okay. So I have to go to each one. And then if I want to, let's just have a, oh, can't hit escape there. That cancels. We have to click out. Okay, great. And we can paint. And that works. We can't paint the straps. We have to select each object separately. But we can paint. And we don't have any weird artifacts. Let's just focus on the outside for now. We don't have any weird artifacts here. Like, we can paint pretty normally because we fixed the UVs. Okay, so this gives me hope that we can actually do this. A little laggy. A little laggy. Okay. And I can paint the full thing. Okay, we don't actually want to paint it purple, but that's neither here nor there. Man, it doesn't like that. But we can, in fact, paint this. And then when we look at our image, unsurprisingly, right, we've just painted this, which we could just, we could just do this if we wanted to be thorough, like so. Point being, we figured out how to vertex paint, or not vertex paint, texture paint the thing, and it only took me an hour and a half. Well, we did some other things at the beginning. It only took me an hour. All right. So now I want to go back to what we were trying to do before, which is instead of trying to paint the texture of like what it should look like, we want a mask. So what we want to do is we want to paint just white. Somehow I've selected red. Can I just have white? Value, hue off, saturation off gets us white, yes. All right, and then we just paint the whole thing white. And that will represent something. And for the sake of being able to see that this is working, I'll grab black and we will paint, we'll paint some black here. Maybe not, maybe like here. So we see it on a few different things, like that. Yeah. We'll do interesting stuff, but I want this image here to use, and then we go back to our shading setup. Okay, so now this image becomes the control for mixing two images, two textures. So we do texture, image texture, open. I guess we haven't saved it in here. That's fine. Is it in downloads from Polyhaven? I don't. Let's go back to Polyhaven and grab. I have a folder. We want to look for like a rust texture. Maybe something like this. And these are all CC0. So we'll save this inside of our Polyhaven download. Yep. And then I need to go to the folder. And we are going to extract and delete archive. And then I would like one more metal texture. We downloaded, I think, this blue metal one. It's not quite the metal I was looking for. Painted metal shutter. Like, these all have, like, I want kind of, so not rusty, not corrugated. this was the issue when I was looking here, is that like they're all like they're either rust or they have some kind of texture that we don't necessarily want on our on this. Maybe I will. Let's just use blue metal. It's not exactly what's in the reference art, but we can see some stuff happening if we do this. So downloads Polyhaven, blue metal textures. We want the diff, right? This one. Right, this is displacement, this is normal, this is rough. I mean, we're gonna want multiple things and mix them together with this, but you know, one thing at a time. Then another image texture and open, and then we want to select the Rust one that we just downloaded from Polyhaven. This one. And then we want to add a mixture. I think we want a mixture. And then, so this is going to be B, this is going to be A, and the color will be the factor. And then suddenly we have the two textures combined together. Like so, right? Basically, wherever it's white, we get the rusty texture, and wherever it's black, we get the blue metal texture. We got some stuff going on here in the UV that we need to tweak, which we can. But I think the cool thing is that with this, we should be able to switch to airbrush, and then we can like. Why is this white? It's because we need to go into this mode. There we go. Now we can see this. So if we want to add a little bit of rust, no, the black is the rust. So we need to switch this to black, and then I need to figure out what. Oh, I've selected vertex paint. That'd be why. About texture paint. And then what we want to do is we want to select how rusty. That's what we're painting onto. And then we can switch to airbrush, switch to white. Okay. Dial down the strength. Now, I think instead of airbrush, we want maybe a different kind of magic paint texture. Okay, weird. All brushes. Fill, clone, blur. Does blur do anything here? Do you see an effect? I don't see an effect. Paint hard pressure, paint soft. Interesting. So we can essentially paint in where we want rust, where we don't want rust. So this is a start. It is. We have that seam there, although I think from the normal perspective you won't be able to see that. So here's a question, right? If we want, oh, okay, we just click, we just left click the dot, and then we can shift what we are texture painting. Nice. I don't know about the blue metal, but it's something. It's interesting. And then if we look at the screw, we can remove some of the rust here. And then if we look at the legs, we got something weird going on here with the texture. Oh, right. Sorry, I have to actually click that. There we go. Let's hide the setup. There we go. Oh, okay. We can click and drag that. Good to know. Which one is leg 1? Can't tell. I mean, it must be this one then, right? And then leg 2. Back to leg 0. And then, let's see, the table. Add some rust here. Is this leg 2 here? And then, screw base. And then back to the barrel. Let's see, we need black here to remove some rust here. And I think in terms of modeling, there's probably a few more passes we need to do here because this doesn't... I think we need some more details. I say that at the same time acknowledging that this is like probably too many polygons for what this is. But both could be true. I guess since we're kind of working on the this texture though, I think we could do, since we have these other textures, right? So we could take Polyhaven, blue metal texture, normal, and you know, can we just like okay, shifty, good, and then we want to grab rust coarse, normal, then we want, I think we want to do another mix of these two. And we're gonna take this and mix that with this factor. And so this is gonna be our normal. Does that work? I think we have to do something for the color. Let's see, color. Or utilities, math, vector, generate a normal vector and dot product. I don't think that's what we want. There's something I think we're supposed to do. Normal. Input geometry normal, utilities vector normal, texture coordinate normal, displacement normal map. Maybe color or something. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, wait. Vector? Better or worse? Well, let's go. Let's turn the lighting back on. Let's hide our reference image. Oh, that's the light. The reference image, please. There we go. It's interesting, yeah? We have a couple more images to bring in. Texture, image texture, open. Roughness. We take roughness. Might be interesting here. And then Shift E. And then grab our rust texture roughness. And then Shift E, the mix. And then switch this back to color. And we're gonna mix A, B with our factor. And then you need to go up to, I can't see that. Bring this down here so that I can get these zoomed in together. So this is roughness. So if I save this and we go back to Godot, hey, remember Godot? That game engine editor thing that we're using? Reload from disk. I think I got rid of our test scene, but we can restore it. Or we can just open new turret directly here. As a, well, yeah. That is something. Not exactly what I would expect. Did we do something that would disable our things? I don't know. Materials? Metal? I don't know. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's see if I can remember how we associate the model asset with the actual in-game thing, right? So we have entities, obstacles, basic turret. So we have this, and this is our turret.blend. So if we take the new model, new turret, and we drop this in here, and then we delete all of this. Ooh. What was that? Delete related animation tracks. No. Okay, so here's the new model. Disappointed that we don't have our texture. What's up with that? Why no texture? Do we need to... Let me save this. Things are gonna be broken because we broke the animation link. Do we need to bake this texture in some way? Maybe go to interesting. We go to materials. Oh, also let's hide the setup stuff there. If we go back to here and re-imports, still just white. Much better than the situation last time, where we had all sorts of issues with normals. Okay, I think we shall Google. So Godot, Blender, bake texture. Blender textures to Godot. Like, probably searching for stuff about baking textures is something that's like, that's a thing that I know about in the past for like game dev stuff, but I don't know if that's a thing that we need to do specifically. I'm just trying to figure out like, why aren't textures there? Yeah. Okay, so let's try stuff. Okay, Blender bake texture. Right, so we have a shader node set up, and we want to create a texture the corresponds to the UV map, but is the combination of everything that we set up in the thing. So I think we just have a separate output. Yeah. Add an image texture node. Don't connect anything. Make sure to select new. This is where you make one up. Head render settings. From cycles, we can bake. Diffuse. Oh, that's what diff stands for. Diffuse. Uncheck direct to indirect, then click bake. Okay, so maybe. Let's see if we go here. We add a output. Probably not a material output. We want to add image. New. Turret output texture. Generated type. Cool. That's fine. And then. So. I'm assuming we can't. Maybe it does have to be cycles. Let's try if we switch to cycles. Like it suggests. And we go to bake. Bake type. Diffuse. It said turn off direct to indirect. View from above surface. Output. Image texture. Okay. If we bake, no valid selected object. Okay, so we need to select all the things. Okay, can't do that. Probably because we have those empties. Yep. Target. Image textures. Okay. Bake. Okay, we'll see what that does. Is this... 0%. Okay, and then done. Okay, great. So, there is a thing. If we then... What if we just save the Blender file and then we go back to Godot? No? Okay. But, now if we take the color from this and replace that, so now we just have a flat texture, and we use that as the material output. Does it just work? Nope. Okay, it doesn't like our material. Why not? Okay, mesh. We have our material. There's no texture. Okay, so let's go to import. What are we missing here? Unpack enabled. Export materials. What does unpack mean? It doesn't say. Animation, naming convention, colors, UVs, normals, geometry node, tangents, all influences. Okay, what is... I don't know. I don't know what that means. Modifiers? All modifiers. Okay. Re-import. Still no no texture on the material, which is really weird because now like our material is just a single texture, right? So if we switch back to EV and then we turn on our setup stuff so we have lighting, and we go back to like modeling, right? It's so dark. What happened? Why is our light not lighting? Probably I broke stuff. Let's go back to cycles. No, the big settings shouldn't have affected that. Okay, I don't know. Go back to shading. This is strange. Right, so we... Oh. So, we take this. We put this color into there, and then we take this into there. We didn't have a shader at all, right? So that's why, even with the baked image, we were getting, we weren't seeing our light or anything. So especially if we go that there, it's still not quite the same. Has it really been another hour? Okay, well, we're gonna take a break here, and then after the break, I guess I will continue to figure out why this isn't showing up in Godot. Maybe